Welcome, my fabulous diamond painting fanatics and resin enthusiasts. I'm Didi, and thanks for joining me for this DiDi's resin art. And today I'm gonna try out something new. I'm gonna use this pigment, and it's supposed to be a color changing pigment. And I'll be trying it out on this silver charm, for which I already made the little plastic backing. I've never done this, so bear with me. Let's place that one down so I'll have it nicely stuck there. We'll put that to the side and we'll start mixing in the pigment. So it is this nice eggplant. Yeah, I think it's like an eggplant color. And to not waste a thing, I'm just gonna get a little toothpick and drizzle that on here, trying to get as much of the pigment off. As I possibly can. Right, I'll throw that away and get on my gloves because now it's getting absolutely messy. Well, most likely it will get messy. So I'll need some more of the pigment powder. All right, I think that should do it. And let's drizzle in some resin, and if I'm correct, this should change to a very nice light pink when it's heated. So we will see if it actually does work. And otherwise you'll be watching a very nice fail. But hey, if you never try, you'll never know. So I'm trying to get all of the pigment powder nicely blended. Gosh, it's really dark. I'll add a little extra clear resin just to dilute it a bit. Because it's a bit grainy right now. Oh, it should be enough. So let's get the lid on here. Let's get my bezel. And let's get my bezel filled. And if you're hearing some background noise today, I'm running my dryer and it's on this last circle. So it seemed to be like a lot of resin, but actually I'm kind of short. So I'll drizzle some of the clear in here to dilute it a bit more. Now I need just carefully mix it without poking a hole in my tape. Yeah, I need to make some more because I'm not gonna get enough coverage of the back. So I'll move that on the side. I'll grab my mixing plate. That should do it. There is the powder. I think I got a little bit too much the first time around, so let's try with a bit less this time. Yes, that's nicely mixed. So I'll grab that. I'll get my bezel. And I know you should use a cup to blend in your pigment powders, but this isn't the first charm I'm making, and I'm a bit tired of having to clean out all of my all of my cups every single time. So while everything is covered, I am gonna add some more to the top, just to get a little bit more volume. So I only need to glaze it a bit on the top afterwards. And I can see I spilled some resin on the edges, so I'll clean that up before I start the curing process, because you'll never get it off of your edge. Let me place that there. I'm just grabbing a little piece of paper towel. And just running it along the edges. Right, so that should do the trick. Let's place that in there. Let's get our resin out of the way, because it will cure in the cup. Let's give it 2 minutes. So yeah, it's oh wow, it does change color. You guys can't see, I'll show you when it gets out. But I can see under the UV light that the dark purple that first was there turned into some kind of gray. Grayish, purple, pinkish something. It's a bit hard to see with blue light. Bear with me. Well, that's interesting. But it isn't really the color I was expecting. But oh well. Oh well. So the way why it changes color is because the UV light cures the resin by heating it. So it activates something and the resin gets quite hot. So yeah. It's interesting, let me give it that. Would I be using it more often? I think I would if it would have given out the color I expected. Alright, so let's pull it out, and you can see it is a light pinkish thing. It looks like the color wasn't blended through enough. You know what, I'll just gloss it over and we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna need a little bit more resin. If you guys are wondering what I do with all the resin that's stuck and left in my cup, I'll just re-pour it. Back in the cup or in the container. and all the things that I can't get out. You can clean your cups easily by, well, easily, it takes a little bit of effort. Holding your cup under the UV light will harden the resin in the cup, and you can then pull it out of there. And we're going back to the dark purple it once was. So that's pretty neat. Alright, so it's nice and to the top. Don't die on me right now. Don't die. Well, it seems to work like this as well. And it isn't really the way it was supposed to do. Yes, I've been making a lot of charms. So I'm actually running out of lighters. Alright, I think I flashed it more than enough. So let's give it a little extra time this time. And I'll be back with you when it's cured completely. See you in a sec. So the curing time is done. Let's get it out. And up. So the resin actually came up a bit on the sides here. But for this trial piece, I'm not too worried about it. Let's get the backing off. Oh man, speaking of bubbles. There is one very large, well, bubble. It's actually more or less like there is partly no resin at all in this lower section. Luckily we can fill that up. I don't think it will show. So let's get this piece to the side. Let's get my little foot over here. And that little foot helps leveling out your piece so the resin doesn't spill over the sides. And let's fill up this ginormous hole. With some resin. Lucky for me, it's so big that it's easy to fill up. So there seems to be a little bit less pigment in some sections, so let me drop a little bit down there. Sometimes you can simply fix your mistake. All right. So it was a good thing I didn't throw my mixing plate away. And since this is the back, it doesn't need to be extremely clean cut. So my dryer stopped, but my neighbor started. Well, that's fun. Can you see it changing? Because there seems to be a little bubble right there. Come on. Nope, that isn't moving. It's not going anywhere. All right. All right, so there are no more bubbles. Let's place this to cure. And I'll show you how I store my resin. I simply drizzle it in from my pouring and working container. Because the resin is the most expensive part, I do not want to spoil any of it. And the rest I'll just let dry in the cup. And we'll see how it turned out. See you when it's all done. Well guys, the curing is done. And since it's not sticky anymore, let's do it without. So first, my charm, still nice and pale pink, and I've got some water just your regular flat water. So let's see what happens. If it will change back color. It takes a little while, but it is turning back. So you're looking at the back of it. Let's show you the front, because the front has a more even coating. So I'm gonna leave it in here for a sec just to get it back to the dark color, and we'll see whether or not I can get it back with just my hands. And I was talking about cleaning up my cups. Well, so I let this one dry with it because I was gonna end it. I let my stick in there so I can easily start pulling the resin out of the cup. A perfect little mold of resin. There are some little droplets here, but those are easily done just by using my fingernails. Alrighty, almost. So most of it is done. I have got some little specks there, and those specks are a bit hard to get out, but if you use a wet cleaning cloth, those pre-wetted hygienic towels, they're called in Dutch, it's just for cleaning, you can easily just go over them and they'll come right off. Little force from time to time, but oh, that's how I clean my cups. So you've seen that as well. And it seems like our charm is almost back to its darker color. All right, one clean cup goes with the starch. This one does look kind of pretty, right? But it's gotta go. It's gotta go. This, well, put that with the trash. So that's with the trash. So our charm is in the nice and dark color. So I'll just gonna quickly dry it with a little paper towel. And let's see whether or not I'm hot. You've never seen me, so you don't know it, but usually I'm pretty hot. Sorry guys, I know, bad joke, bad Didi. Dark. Let's hold it for a while. How long should we hold it? Let's see. Well, that's not working. I'm just gonna rub it. Friction does provide heat, right? Very successful. Not. So I think my experiment failed, and I think that if I want this to work, I would actually need to use the colored pieces all around. So not layer it with a clear resin as well, because I don't think that's gonna heat up. Yes, I'm still rubbing it, trying to get it to warm up. See whether or not it wants to change color. Yes. Well, it's actually getting quite hot, so nah, not really. It isn't budging. It isn't going. So yeah, experiment failed. It does look pretty. It's just a charm. Let's try this for one last time, whether or not it will cure in the sunlight or change color in the sunlight. And yes, I know I'm using artificial light. But it doesn't seem to be going. It doesn't want to go. It's not going. It's not going. Let's get the blue light out of here so you can actually see. But it stays all nice and dark. Which means next time I'll have to fill up the entire cup or cup. I'll need to make a large batch of the colored resin. But it was a fun experiment. So, oh well, not all things can work out. I do hope you did like this video and see me struggle with this piece. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it didn't work. It didn't work. But I'll be sure to try again. If you like this video, even though it failed, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will be uploading a resin art video every Saturday. Or follow me on Instagram at Dutch Duck Diamond Painting. I will be seeing you guys. Bye bye.